Left front, Dave.
Hi, Urban. Dave Biddle from Bucknuts.com. When you hear the name Braxton Miller, what goes through your mind?
I just met Braxton, and I wanted to meet Braxton. That was very important. All due respect to everybody in this room, that was the highlight of my day, not this. It's sitting there shaking hands with that good-looking quarterback with a nice smile and a very humble player. I watched him play throughout the year. I watched him compete in the big game, and to sit here and tell you I'm excited to coach him, I'm not using the correct adjectives, and because there's a mixed company here, I'm not going to use the correct adjectives, how excited I am. So I think you get it, right? Real excited.
Right front, Paul.
Urban over here. Paul Doherty, Cincinnati Enquirer. What did you not like about college football that might have influenced your decision to step away, and how has it become more to your liking in the last 12 months?
Well, it's hard. I'll say this the right way. I tried to do other people's jobs because I'd sit in a staff room and I'd hear about all the nonsense going on and where recruits and why they were going here, what was going on, and that's age old. You know, and I tried to, maybe to a fault. I think some things were going on. Obviously there were, because all you do is read the newspapers for the last 12 months or the last 2 years, and we all make mistakes, but willful and intentful mistakes. I have a real problem with that, and I let that not destroy me. But ESPN, we were at a little seminar this summer, and a guy gave a presentation. He talked about just keep it in center field. ESPN does a great job keeping it in center field. And I'm sitting there as I'm doodling, making notes. My problem was I left center field. I started trying to cure NCAA issues. I started trying to cure agent issues, maybe drug issues, maybe the whatever. And I went out of center field. There's people that get paid a lot of money and very professional. That's their obligation and responsibility to fix those things. And after spending time with NCAA and evaluating and sitting back, and you know what? That's their job. That's not my job. So I'm going to go about and I'm going to keep it right in center field. And that's what I do, enjoy doing, coaching guys like Braxton Miller and some of these great players here at Ohio State.
Second row left, Tim.
Yeah, Urban, Tim May, Columbus Dispatch. I remember
it's been a long time, Tim.
Yeah, it is. Well, we do welcome home, but that's another point. How would you describe your style, what you want out of a football team, if you had to put it into words? I got two questions. I want to ask that one first.
I think go hard. I mean, like relentless. I want a bunch of coaches that coach like their hair's on fire, and I want a football team that goes 4 to 6 seconds of relentless effort. You do that, you got a chance of winning every game you play. Now you go down and recruit some good players. The formula is real simple. You go recruit some really good players that know how to compete, are tough, and you go surround them with the best coaches in the country. You usually find a way to win a few games, and so that's the formula we're going to use here, and we're going to go really, really hard.
The second one, when did Ohio State just put its feelers out to you? I mean, obviously, November 20th is when you sat down or when you got contacted formally. When did Ohio State first start making some contacts, or vice versa?
Last Sunday. I mean, I got like a ridiculous amount of letters and emails. You're not talking about that, right? I don't know how people got my phone number, and I mean yeah, but it was some 12-year-old wearing Ohio State sweatshirts that hey, come on, coach, let's go. No, but it was last Sunday.
Right front, second row, Bryant.
Coach Brian Billing with the Springfield paper in Springfield, Ohio. Coach, through the years, especially recently too, coaches from your neck of the woods down in Florida have been able to come up to our area and grab recruits. There was one particular person in Springfield that Nick Saban was able to come up and get to. What do you think you're going to be able to bring to the Ohio State staff to prevent people from going from out of state?
Well, it's tough. The SEC's hot right now, and I've recruited against Alabama as well. They're hot. I mean, but so is Ohio State. And so we're going to do that all goes back to our best recruiters, and I just talked to our players about that. First of all, them, and then it's your group of assistant coaches that you bring in. So I'm gonna you put together the right staff. You can. I'm not saying stop that, but you can.
EMS.
We need an EMS to the back, please.
EMS.
J5. Okay.
Yeah, let's hold off a second. Everybody, just be respectful. Let's hold off a second.
Thumbs up, Ben. Thank you.
Sorry, thank you.
Thank you very much. We will resume left back. Dom.
Coach Tom Taberry, WBNS TV. Good to see you again.
See you.
What title will Luke have on the staff? And two-part, your take on the OSU-Michigan game.
Question number one, Luke, I don't want to speak before I'm ready to speak. It'll be a significant title and significant position on our staff. Luke and I, we have not even had that conversation. We will shortly, because I want his expertise and help me put together the staff. Second, obviously that's the game of games. That's the game that I grew up watching. It's a game that I thought both teams played very hard. It's also a team that the next game's 362 days away, so I understand the significance of it. And I remember my experience in that game was the first year when Jim Harbaugh guaranteed to win here at Ohio Stadium. And then the second one was Coach Bruce's final game at Michigan, and we were able to beat Bo Schembechler in Michigan. So the one thing that I know about that game, as much as there is dislike and hatred across college football and some rivalries, there's their share of that, but there's also a lot of respect in that rivalry, and I'm really looking forward to coaching in it.
Far right, Jared.
Hi, Urban, back here. Back to your right. Hi, Jared Smalley from NBC4. You've had the rare opportunity to look at the football team you're about to coach with a critical eye from the broadcast booth. I wonder what deficiencies you maybe see as you come into this job in the football team and how you might attack those best in recruiting.
Well, I think Luke's better at that because I don't know I didn't have a good feel for who's coming back, who's hurt. You know, I know Nathan Wade, I got to see him. I think he's not a good player. I think he's a great player. I think he's kind of the heart and soul. When he went out, that hurt us. You know, that hurt Ohio State. I think Braxton Miller's a difference maker at quarterback. You know, you can build a team around what I saw, but until I get my hands on them, obviously in the spring I can be real detailed. So what I see is I'm going to really lean on Coach Fickell. I've already had that discussion with him. He made the comment we need depth at linebacker and pick that position up a little bit. And some other areas I'd rather not comment now until I get my hands on it, though.
Front left, Matt.
Coach Matt Markey, Toledo Blade.
Markey.
You've had the good fortune.
Is that Lauren Markey to your left?
Yes. You've had the good fortune everywhere you've gone as a head coach to have inherit a good quarterback or a great quarterback with Josh Harris at BG and Alex Smith at Utah and Chris Leak and now Braxton. Can you just kind of talk about how that makes a job easier coming in the door when you have somebody like Josh Harris?
Josh Harris is right there, by the way. I'd like to think that you know, I kind of not. That's not why you select a job. However, that's when you are getting ready to make a decision, you do look at that because you don't have time to really build a program nowadays. You need to get going and go find a way to win. And I watched Braxton very close. But what that means at Bowling Green, obviously, that meant instant success. You know, Josh was a tailback converted to quarterback that ended up being one of the best players I've ever been around. Obviously, that guy, that little skinny guy at Utah, Alex, is doing fine in the NFL now, and great player, great competitor. And then Chris Leak, what a magical player, and then obviously the guy that came behind him. So we've been blessed to have some great quarterbacks, and I'm really thinking this guy could be, you know, putting a lot of pressure on this cat already. With he's special. What I've seen on film, he's special.
Right, second row, Bob.
Bob Hunter, Columbus Dispatch. Urban, given your health issues and your situation at Florida, did you have any second thoughts at all about coming to a program like this where you've obviously been here before and you know the interest and the magnitude of the coverage and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, second, third, fourth, fifth thoughts. A lot of thoughts. A lot of, there's no people more important than my 3 children and my wife. They had some second thoughts. We had a team meeting. As a matter of fact, I showed Gene this not too long ago. This is a contract that my kids made me sign before I was allowed to sign a real contract. And it's tougher than any other contract I've signed in my life. So, yeah, a lot of thought. I don't want to spend all day talking about that, but I feel very blessed to be able to stand here, to know where I was and where I don't want to go again, and maybe help others. Because what's amazing in this profession, I found out a lot of guys, you just not this profession. What are we talking about? I mean, this is an age-old problem about the executive or the doctor, or the lawyer, the teacher, the professor, the policeman that just gets so enamored or so consumed by their profession that they forget really what the purpose of our whole deal is, and that's to raise a wonderful family. And so, Gene and I have talked about this. There's ways to, whether it be teaching class, whether speaking or writing a book or whatever, and I think that's part of the issues we deal with today is when you see people too consumed with their profession that they let things go at home, and then that costs them down the road. So I don't want to get too philosophical on you, but that played a major role. And when you said second, third, or fourth guess or discussion, that was a big part of it.
Third row left, Bill.
Bill Livingston, Cleveland Plain Dealer. First of all, two-part question, but have you made any determination at all on Mike Vrabel and his presence or absence on the staff to come?
I have not. I look forward. I've not met with Mike yet. I'm going to soon. I'm a big Vrabel fan. I don't know him as a coach. I'm going to I'm going to watch a little bit. I'm going to have the ability to go watch, and a guy that's never recruited. He played for a great friend of mine. I'm going to eventually reach out to Coach Belichick when it's time. But Luke Fickell would be the best expert on that because he's worked with him all season, and I'm going to lean on him quite a bit for this.
Different body type, obviously, between Tebow and Braxton. One's like a fullback, and one's kind of a scat back. But how many similarities are there?
I don't know. I like the way he throws. I think he's a ridiculous athlete, but you can stop ridiculous athletes by loading you up. And I like his delivery. Once again, maybe we'll have some great conversation throughout spring practice and after spring. But I'm just real. I think he could be special.